I'm 25 now and I look seedy. Hello guys, Take99 here and welcome to today's video where today we're going to be going through the preview and prediction for State of Origin Game 1 in 2025. Both teams' lists have just dropped to an extent. The Blues came out last night, Maroons came out this morning. We're going to have a look through the teams, potentially talk about some storylines, and then go into think who will win Game 1 up at Suncorp. So starting off, we're going to go with the home team for this match, Queensland. Now the Maroons have gone with some interesting choices here. So starting off, we've got fullback Kalen Ponga. Obviously the Knights aren't going too well at the moment, but I do think it's like he kind of is just going to be the fullback. Like Reece Walsh has not exactly been the same for the last couple of, pretty much ever since the hit he took on from Joseph Suaalii in Game 1 last year. He's just not really been the same. On the wings, you've got Xavier Coates and Valentine Holmes. That's no real shocker there. In the centres, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow and Robert Toya. Toya's been brilliant for the Roosters this year, so I think it's a very definitely deserved call-up. Then you go into the playmakers, and obviously you've got Cameron Munster and Daly Cherry-Evans. Again, no shockers there. But you have to question at some point, when do they go for a new halfback and who could that be? But yeah, it's pretty much the obvious like halves pairing for them. Now you go into the forwards and you've got Mawika Fotuaika, Harry Grant and Tina Fasua-Malawi as the prop hooker prop. I mean, pretty box standard. Harry Grant, like Queensland's like, he's got that position on lock for ages. Tino, very good to see him in there. Ruben Cotter and Jeremiah Nanai starting in second row. Nanai, obviously, in his first series, came off on the bench and provided a massive impact for Queensland. And now he's getting the start, which I think is a very good thing. And then you've also got Pat Carrigan at lock, which is, again, not a real shocker. Going on to the bench, you've got Tom Dearden, Lindsay Collins, Beau Fermor, and Trent Lorio. Now, Dearden, I feel like at some point will merge himself into the new halfback once DCE retires. Lindsay Collins and Beau Fermor, and those are impact forwards. And I believe this is Fermor's first call-up. I might be wrong, but honestly, fair play to him being, he was at the Knights in the lower grades, and then the Titans got him up. And honestly, probably been one of the best signings they've had in years. It's like Fermor's absolutely goated. Has had little problems with injury, but he's been pretty darn clever. Then you got Trent Lorio, who I think is going to be pretty interesting. There's two very interesting 17s that have been named for this match. But yeah, going to be quite good to see. And then you go into the reserves. You've got Kulakefi, Finifuaki, Jesse Arthurs, and Kurt Mann. I know he's only named as a replacement, but God, it would be good to see Kurt Mann play Origin. It would be brilliant to see. Now, we go to the current Shield holders, New South Wales, and let's see what they've named up against them. Obviously, with the contention of whether or not who was going to be the fullback, they've gone with Dylan Edwards. And I feel like it's kind of the right choice. I know Tedesco has done so much for New South Wales over the last couple of years, especially, but I just think that when it comes to thinking of the position long term, you need to start putting Edwards in there so you have like a prolonged presence in fullback. I go into the centres, you've got Brian To'o and Zach Lomax. I think that's pretty fair. To'o's got to hold on to that spot. And you got obviously Zach Lomax, who's been going quite well on the wing for Parramatta and has been quite crucial for them as they started to get themselves back into competing again. And then you go into the centres, and very hard selection choice with centres, but they've gone with Latrell Mitchell and Stephen Crichton, and it's like, yeah, that it just has to be. And honestly, that's a meaty centres pairing. Like it's expected. Now another big key point is obviously the playmakers. What was the combination going to be? It is Mitchell Moses at 5'8" and Nathan Cleary at halfback. Now, a lot of people have had problems with Nathan Cleary because he hasn't been the greatest when it comes to New South Wales. I think it's pretty much the main thing why people haven't put him on the same levels as like Johns and Thurston is because of Origin performance. But I reckon someone with Moses, it could go quite well. And then maybe in worst case, they'll probably just bring in Luai and then push Moses into the 7. But it's going to be interesting to see how this Cleary and Moses pairing will go, and it's pretty exciting to see. Now going into the forward packs, you've got Mitch Barnett, Reece Robson, and Payne Haas. Payne Haas, local Woodbury boy. He's a local boy. It's good to see. Reece Robson also very decent. The upcoming Roosters player, obviously still at the Cowboys. Mitch Barnett, the Taree boy, local Hunter boy. It's good to see. He's been fantastic since he left the Knights and went to the Warriors. I mean, he was good at the Knights, but just yeah, he's turned into a completely new beast going over there. Then in the second row, you've got Liam Martin and Angus Crichton, two pretty solid second row choices, and Isaiah Yeo as lock. I mean, yeah, like, not really shocking at all. Now we go into the interchange. Connor Watson at the 14. You need him in the team. He's the best utility in the competition. Spence Leniu and Hudson Young as 15 and 16. Hudson Young is a local boy. Greater boy. And you got Spencer Leniu, the, oh boy. Oh boy. I saw him against the Dogs. He's a scary mongrel. Max King at 17, making his Origin debut for New South Wales. Deserved, honestly. Very great selection. Then you're going into the reserves. You've got Campbell Graham, Stefano Utokamanu, and Hame Olaka-Atu. So even in reserves, we've got players to back it up. Obviously, Jake Trbojevic couldn't be in the team because he just copped a head knock, and I believe his stand-down period ends literally the day of Game 1, so he's not eligible to play. But yeah, let's go into some storylines, I suppose, for this, and then lead into what becomes, of course, the prediction. Now, obviously, one of the main headlines is going to be what Ponga does and how much of the ball Queensland are going to give him. Because essentially, it's like Slater likes Ponga because, obviously, he adds as another playmaker role to the team. And honestly, him not getting the ball is kind of one of many, many reasons why the Knights aren't going too well in the NRL at the moment. Obviously, the big story for New South Wales, though, the halves pairing between Cleary and Moses. It's going to be interesting to see how this does play out, because obviously Moses very important in Game 2 and 3 last year for New South Wales to win the series. Cleary having a little bit of problems winning State of Origin. It's like what's been holding him back from people calling him the best halfback of all time, which, I mean, let's be honest, he already is, but people just, because he hasn't dominated Origin level like Thurston or Johns has, it's, you know. The benches is going to be quite interesting. Collins, Fermor versus Leniu and Young is going to be... Oh, boy. Honestly, Lindsay Collins and Spencer Leniu, I'm predicting just have a fight and get, like, put in the sin bin. So, yeah, that's sort of a couple of storylines as well. And without further ado, let's get into the prediction of what I think will happen in Game 1. The thing with this series is I do think that Game 3 in Sydney is going to be a decider. The problem is, I don't really see Queensland winning Game 2. So more than likely, if this was to be a series that goes down to a decider in Game 3, Queensland win this game. But New South Wales do have a good squad. Now, I know Queensland can switch it on because, and you know, you're probably going to start seeing all the Queensland propaganda about how they're always the underdogs. It's like, who would have thought the team could be underdogs when they win 8 fucking series straight? Like, who would have thought? It's, oh, to be fair, it's mostly down to the media, which, I mean, is fair, but also, yeah, because Queensland media really rates the Blues. But if the Blues win Game 1, it'll be a sweep. The series will be a sweep if the Blues win Game 1. So whether I think it will happen or not to be quite interesting. Currently, as I sit here, as a non-biased Novocastrian, if we go by the Knights metric of the team that has the more Knights players win, Queensland have that, but this will be very close. I think New South Wales edges it in Game 1. I think Moses will have player of the match into a prediction for the series where I think he would end up getting player of the series, but it's going to be close. But I do think New South Wales can win Game 1. And I think they will. So there you go, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. Who do you guys have for Game 1 in terms of what will happen this series? Do you think there should be any players that should have been selected? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching once again. And I'll see you all later.